Hey now, welcome to Lone Star Mini Restoration. Today I'm going to take you on a walkabout of my MK1 1964 Austin Cooper. All right, so she pretty much sits untouched since I bought her. As you notice, she's on wheels, and I have her on little wheel dollies, so that all I've been doing is moving her around the garage. But I haven't really touched her whatsoever. So, you know, maybe I'll give her a good inspection on this video. You know, the scuttle, for the most part, you know, I don't know, looks pretty decent. Now, there is rust in here, typical places, right? Surface rust, I don't really know. Going up the seam, you know, it looks like we've got typical surface rust along the ridge of the roof. Nothing bad. On the roof itself, you know, we've got these splatters of primer or something. And over here some pretty bad ones. I'm hoping it's just that. I'm hoping that it's just spills and not, you know, and hopefully I won't find rust under there. I don't think I will, because for the most part, the roof looks pretty solid. But coming along, I mean, we've got, you know, surface rust maybe. I think all this will clean up nicely all the way around. It looks pretty clean. There's definitely rust down in the window and the doors. You know, you can see that it's all kind of rusted. Again, not horrible. Over here on this side, you've got typical rust in the typical places. But even the door hinges look, you know, around the door hinges, they don't look horrible. Now there's a hole there in the A panel. Looks like some rust bubbles along the bottom of the door. The other door looks far better. So let's see, coming over here, back here to the quarter panel. Quarter panel looks pretty decent. Really? So you can see, this is how the car came. Let me set the camera down. This is how the car came. You know, no bumpers, none of that. And boy, that's pretty soft. I mean, look how clean that looks. Rust here, or surface rust, probably just surface rust. Looks like the paint. But all of this, the boot lid, I mean, it all looks, I'll try to get the camera underneath the car and we'll look at it. But it all looks pretty doggone solid. So inside the boot, you know, just closeout panel, I guess, for the spare tire. I mean, it all looks pretty decent. The jack looks pretty good. Of course, I'll clean that up as well. Jack parts. Looks like we even had I think I've seen these before. This is like a jack or a handle or something goes in there. Maybe it's for a different type of jack. But I think I've seen these. This looks like an old case, old cover. Has an old tie strap. But yeah. Bungee cord. Let's see, let's take this guy out, look underneath. All right, spare tire, more jack tools. See, let me pull the spare tire out. That's pretty cool. Spare tire is pretty bald. Look at that. As you can see here, I mean, the boot floor looks, it's solid. I mean, I don't know if that, it feels like thinner metal, but there are no, I mean, there's some orangey color here, but that's not rust. That's just, I don't know what that is. But there are no rust patterns or anything that I can detect on the surface. So, I mean, that's clean. Oh my, even the battery box. Here, let me pan over. There's a piece of wood in the bottom of the battery box. Okay, so looks like there's a hole in the bottom of the battery box if the camera's picking that up. But overall, the battery box looks pretty good. So I'm looking up here at the bench seat, the back of the bulkhead. It's all pretty clean. All this metal in here, I mean, it looks solid. There's no, my gosh, again, my 82 that I imported was far worse than this. You know, it looks like this tank looks pretty small, but it's pretty clean. Again, I don't see anything that's scary in or around it. It all looks pretty nice. All right, I'm under the car. I'm under the boot, and you know, the metal looks pretty doggone clean. It really does. A lot of cobwebs, but that's from sitting in my garage. The back of the wheels, that looks like it's got some rust. And of course, the bottom of the battery tray has some holes and or rust there, but I don't consider that bad. All right, looking at the subframe, I mean, I see rust inside there, but I can't tell. All right, let's look up here. The subframe looks a little worn, but is it totally hosed or trash? I don't know. It doesn't look bad to me. Here's the other left side of the rear subframe, and it looks like it's thinner metal to me. I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but look at the floor. I mean, even the floor up there. Look at the floor. It looks pretty doggone good. I'll be able to salvage most of this, I believe. All right, so inside the cabin, I pulled the seat back, but the cross member, that's pretty doggone clean looking. And you know, all up in here, it looks pretty clean, And of course, it looks like, you know, there's a lot of rust going on in the foot area on the right-hand side of the car. And there's definitely the same going on over there on the driver's side, the left-hand side. There's a big hole rusted spot right there. My gosh, but that's not horrible. The odometer says 61,274 miles for 1964. Clean up those dials. My gosh, even the headliner. I mean, okay, the light's missing there. There's a few cut marks in it, but overall, the headliner looks fairly decent. You know what I want to do? I want to look in the companion bins. Let me get some light in there. Okay, there's a cover there. Let me see if I can remove that cover. Hold on. All right, I couldn't quite pull the cover out entirely. However, now looking down in there, it doesn't look bad compared to my existing. Look at that. I think that's pretty good. Let's go look in. It still has all the, looks like the original fabric. It's quite nice looking. I wonder if I can somehow restore that. Probably not. Let me look in the other companion bin. Looks like these are the original outer sills. Even they look fairly decent. Look at this. I think I'm going to salvage most of it. These were the original seats. It looks like they were red at one time. you can see the paint coming off, or oh, where they didn't paint it in there. Yeah, it looks like they just painted over the red seats. Now inside the engine bay, my gosh, I mean, this really does. Even the engine looks pretty doggone good. Some old hoses, cracks in the hoses. Old snail heater, right? You know, once I learn how to turn over these old engines, I'll crank her up and see. But I think she looks really good, actually. I consider myself very fortunate to have found this. I've always been a little bit envious of all the barn finds over in the UK and elsewhere. And so when I found this guy just tucked away, my own American barn find, I was flat excited. And I was able to purchase it. So, yeah. So when I develop a little bit of skill, I will start this restoration and I will take her back to hopefully a concourse, all true original 1964 Austin Cooper. Yeah, I think there were some badges in here. Oh, look at this one. I've never seen this. Oh, here's a pin. I've not seen this stuff. See, it shows you how much I've been in the car. Look at this. I love minis. A little lapel pin. And then there's a badge up here that says British Motor Car Day, Sunday, May 19th, 1991. So somebody may have driven it in 91. I want to take that off, but it's glued on. Anyhow, thank you for checking in. Over the course of time, I am buying parts for it. So, and I'll maybe do something here or there. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you for joining in, and bye just now.